Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Tuesday evening. We're at the 27th of September, 2022, 6:40 p.m. Central Time. Well, I'll start off for a moment in the grain market for one reason. Hurricane Ian. This hurricane's turned into a real son of a gun, a big monster. It's going to hit somewhere between, it looks like, Sarasota and Tampa Bay, Florida, our west coast of Florida, as a Hurricane 3 or 4 that moves very slowly. The amount of rain can be 30 inches in a 2-day period in some sections. You heard the amount of inches I said. Nothing can withstand that amount of rain in that period. If you've had the pleasure of going to those regions, we are talking it's going to be widespread damage. So get ready for that. It's going to be heartbreaking for the people there, and many people that didn't leave in time that aren't prepared. They're about to get a rude education on just what a hurricane can be. You don't mess with them. You don't mess with typhoons. You know the names of these things unless you're really prepared and your home's built for it. You're in an area that is high enough to withstand the surging seas, and in this case, that kind of rain. The next thing we have to prepare for is this vote in the Ukraine is going to end in these 4 sections. President Putin will declare that they voted affirmative to go back to Russia. The Dumas will next week come out, probably have a vote that they want to take it on. And suddenly these 4 regions will be, like Crimea, annexed. The problem is in Crimea, nobody really fought that much. Here, the Ukrainians are not going to agree, and they're going to keep fighting. And now the West has to have the stomach and not back off to go after the madmen and just give more money to Ukraine to take these regions back. You cannot let them keep them. It's that simple. And I don't think anybody wants to see him keep anything on this. At the same time, they will keep with the finger on the button. You attack these regions, you're attacking Russia. The hell with them. Attack Russia, which means these regions. Go for it. If he does this, the Iranians are going to do it in the next part. The other madman in Korea will do it in another part. I mean, this is what you're going to deal with. You can't have it where you just put your finger up and say, this is going to be the case. If that's it, the world must end. I don't think we want to live in a world where everybody uses the finger to say, I'm taking this. So is China then at some point going to do something? You get the story. At some point, you draw the line in the sand and you say, no. You're going to do it. You're going to pay the consequence. And here's the consequence. If it's mutual destruction, so be it. I know it's a hard thing to say, but he won't do it. It's definitely over. Number 2, I don't think his military will allow him to do it. There's plenty of dissension happening at this point. So that's my opinion on it, okay? It's a radical one. You want to hear me say, no, diplomacy. You can't, there's a point in time with every tyrant where diplomacy doesn't work and you got to take the head off. Can I be any clearer? Okay, and I'm saying it, most people think it. That's the difference. Okay. Next, let's talk about the meltdown in interest rates. Every Fed president that is speaking on the tour right now, and there'll be another 3 or 4 tomorrow, including Fed Chair Powell introducing some type of conference in the morning. They are saying the same thing. They're uniform. Interest rates are going to go up till they beat down inflation. And they can go up any amount of number. I keep watching people on TV coming out, we're getting to the point where it's ending. I watched Kathy Woods. I don't know if you watched her this morning. Oh, yeah, we're going to be in deflation. Forget inflation. We're going to be in deflation. Okay. And I listened to her. I agree with parts of what she said, but her timing's all wrong, okay? Until it occurs, it hasn't occurred. Did anybody bother to look at how many new homes were sold in the month of August? That came out today. 28% increase. The market was looking for a decrease. And they get that. Come on, there's something else. People that have money are chasing goods still. We have such a strong, in the United States, labor force market that you've got to keep going until who knows when to get that beast to roll over. So these people that are buying that amount of houses, do you think that housing prices are crashing? No, they peaked. If you look at the Case-Shiller, that they peaked. Certain areas, San Diego, Seattle, other areas, they're actually falling. But these were areas that were very elevated. We're all going to see our home prices slip a bit, but they're not going to crash. They're going to pull back because at a 7% mortgage rate, you think I'm laughing, but you're at a 6.5 in some areas, 6.3. And do you know where the 10-year note went today? 10-year note just days ago was at just shy of 3.5, 3.55. It's 3.95 in a matter of days. Well, the 10-year is a bellwether for what those other parts do. So as I watch people and they're all going to time that, I don't time anything. I'm a chart reader. The chart tells me what to do. This is similar to me at the beginning of the year when people write these reports that you all want to read. I gave up writing them years ago. They're going to tell you what's going to happen the next 12 months. They can't tell you what's going to happen the next week. Example, Goldman Sachs today looked at oil. No longer is Jeff Curry out there beating the bush. I haven't seen him on CNBC in a very long time, and I think he's very bright, very good at what he does. But he had to back off. It's no longer $125 oil at the end of the year. Maybe we can get to 100. Speaking of oil, Russia went and gave its voice to OPEC Plus. And remember, it has a big voice. Remember the battle that the Saudis and the Russians had about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And they want 1 million barrel a day cut. You heard me. They did 100,000 barrel last time. Now they want 1 million to stabilize prices. Well, of course you want that million, Russia. You want it because you want to see the price stabilize so you can keep a higher discount as you sell your oil to India, to North Korea, to Russia, to whoever's going to buy it from you, right? That's how it's working. Maybe South Korea. You got countries in that are doing it. You don't sell it at face. You sell it at a discount because there's so many issues. But that's part of the issue. So, you know me, I'm opinionated, tell you what I'm saying. Now, one of the things I'm going to remind you about now is my special report. I recorded a special report on stock indices on Saturday, the 24th, posted it. My reports only stay up 3 business days. It will come off tomorrow. I reviewed for you Bollinger Bands and Momentum, the slow stochastic, on the daily and the monthly chart, daily and the weekly charts. I take that back. And then I took you through on the more research, the seasonals, what typically happens from this exact day I recorded right through the end of the year, giving you different scenarios that I think would take place. I'm very pleased to tell you that the report's coming off, so in order to get it, you have to go to iraepstein.com, and when you're there, just market research, iraepstein.com. Pretty simple, right? A lot of you have done it. Now, we had a good-sized rally today. I had orders in last night for my paid subscribers. One of the markets got filled, and it was a nice-sized profit very fast. I'm only saying it because it was based on the report, and I gave in the report what I thought would happen. One leg of it happened today, and as the market fell hard enough, it actually ended up coming out. Just missed the second one by 4 points. Very little. It got close. Okay, there'll be another opportunity. Could I have lost just as easily? I guarantee it. So don't think as I do a report and something works, that's it. But the first leg worked, and every one of you that are a subscriber of mine and my full research know it. I tried to be a little fancier in my morning subscriber video. Those people didn't get filled in either, and the ones from overnight absolutely got their fill in. I never changed the overnight one. Sometimes I put out a special update. I wanted to get multiple contracts, and I went for one leg of them, and I only got one leg off in one side of the offer. Okay, you don't know what I'm doing tonight. If you're on my subscriptions, you will know it. Okay, so let's go to the markets and see why and what I'm thinking. Number one, we're down into this area where the market is trying to do its best to mount a rally. A rally. I didn't say a trend change. It's doing its best to try to do a rally. It failed miserably today. If you're watching your TV set or your screen, you were seeing that the market kept trying to rally and then fall back. And all of a sudden, you noticed very quickly that the Russell was holding up, the Dow was weak, the S&P was weak, and the NASDAQ let go at 1.2. But it's the small caps that were holding better during the day. When we look at the swing line, we have lower highs, lower lows. I could actually take that swing line and make the high of today. That should be moved. That is where I think the swing line high is. These red arrows should be right there. You had an outside day down. If the highs of today are taken out and an outside day down, it often means a bigger pop to the upside is going to happen, because an outside day down is a continuation pattern in the direction that the market, in this case, has been going. It's not an outside day up. Do you disagree that you're in a downtrend? I don't think you do. So if you get an outside day down with it, it can only be one pattern, a continuation. If you take out that high within the next 2 trading sessions, to me that is, it's saying that the market doesn't want to validate that. The opposite, you get a pump as traders come out of the market. I know it sounds so simplistic, but I have found the simplistic things work. What else did I tell you the other day? When was the other day? Oh, I forgot. It was yesterday. Let's go to it. As the market was down here, I said, I am looking for the market to now move to the right-hand side of the Bollinger Band. Oh my gosh, we moved to the right-hand side. That's all I'm looking for. Okay, I am not looking for the market to go up here. I'm looking for that because on that rally, I've been looking to do one thing, try to get short as long as my embedded reading is in place. It's that way. If you haven't taken my enhanced Bollinger Band course, when you go to the website to look at that free report, for most of you it's free, how do you do that? Well, just switch over to education when you're at iraepstein.com. Go to the Bollinger Band course section, take a look. It will change the way you look at markets. All right. So in looking at this and seeing what it is, yeah, I still think the market can get up. Now, if you first go down and take out the low of today and then reverse up, that is not the same as negating an outside day down. I'm still doing the outside day course. It's probably going to come out for the holidays. You know, I'm pretty close to done, but I might as well give it a reason to bring out. In the Dow, same thing. So if we come together here is the market on the close today. The market closed at 29,203, over 29,159, the Bollinger Band. So you had 1, 2, here. You were under the band, you were under the band, you were under the band, and on this day, you were underneath the band. 4 days in a row. It's rare that you get a 5th day. You can. 6 is really unusual. I mean, beyond unusual. It's rare you get 5. So I was looking, coming in, for this market to fail on the rally. And that's exactly, in other words, fail on the break. In other words, reverse that and try to rally today. And that's basically what happened. And I know you'll say, well, Ira, look at this. All I wanted to do is move to the right-hand side in the Bollinger Band. Until that stochastic is gone, I'm bearish as can be, looking for ways to play it. Now, notice these other markets don't have outside days. They just fell and they moved to the right-hand side of the band. You see it there with the embedded reading. In the VIX, you now have 3 days in a row over the upper Bollinger Band. You can go another one. I was looking for a Tuesday reversal today as well. Some of the markets gave it to me. And I'll look for this market to come back. You're not embedding. You're ahead of yourself. Are we in an area, and that's a logical question, where we're getting to the blow-off? Well, we're getting higher. Each time in the past we've gotten towards 35, this general area, we've seen the VIX give it up. Could it go to the 40? Of course. But that's what it's done. And the fact that it's not embedded tells me it's on some borrowed time. None of the news you read will say that the stock market should rally, but the chart action's giving you some what ifs. Now, I had somebody write me, Ira, how long can the bonds and the notes stay underneath the Bollinger Band? Number one, take my course. Okay, I'm not going to teach it to you here. I answer all those questions in it. You're under the band 2 days in a row, fighting to get back. You're embedded. Is there anything bullish on that chart? Nothing. Come on. Don't go bottom fishing. That isn't what you do. You want to sell strength. This market in the 10-year notes, every single day, it has made a lower low. Do you realize that? Starting with right back here. How many days ago is that? That was the day that it didn't make the low from the day before. Yes, it did. No, that wasn't. So I'm going to count that day afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days where each day is a lower low. That's over 2 business weeks. Doesn't allow me to sell the rallies. Take my course. You learn how to work with that. All right, let's go to the next chart. Dollar index. So how many days do we have in a row over here? So when we come in, day 1, today, 2, 3, was this day over the band? 4, was this day? No. So tomorrow, it's rare that you get the 5th day, but you can. What, does that mean I'm a seller in the market looking to be a wise guy? Not at all. It tells me that I'm expecting the dollar's going to roll to the right-hand side of the Bollinger Band, probably not going to shoot to the upside. The word is probably. Are we embedded? Let's see what we've got there. Both numbers today were over 80. Both numbers were over 80 on Monday. Were both numbers over 80 the day before? No. So is the market going to embed or not? More times than not, markets do not embed. This is where they're the most overbought. So you build that into your trade thoughts. In the euro, you're trying to move to the right-hand side. You had 4 days in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days in a row under the Bollinger Band. On the 5th, you're trying to move to the right-hand side. You've got to learn how to work with that and see, does it mean you're getting a bounce or you're just rolling to the right-hand side? British pound trying to climb back in its Bollinger Band. So you learn with the people panicking here, which I did not, and I try to teach my clients, folks, watch out. In addition, you've lost the embedded reading. So if we come back together on the close of business Tuesday, you had a reading of 19.98. You were trying to lose it most of the session. Right at the end of the day, it gave up on that. Will it lose it on today, which is Wednesday? I don't know. But if it gets lost, then I'm looking for a much bigger rally. If it doesn't get lost, and this is where it should fail, if you're going to keep the embedded reading, it's right in this zone and just ride that band back down. So you get your thinking. Is anything I'm saying there bullish? No. When you're under the 18-day average, am I ever buying long? No. Could I be coming out of shorts? Yeah, but you understand, you build your strategies. I'm not good enough, and I've tried to be able to catch the waves both ways. And the traders want me to do more than my subscribers. The guys that have been with me year after year as my subscribers realize I do it the way I want to do because, again, 50 years of doing this, 50 years of doing everything a human being can do wrong. In charting, I probably have the record. And I learn from it, and I try not to make the same stupid mistake again. Doesn't mean I don't. No, I'm human, but most of the time I catch myself. I'm very disciplined. If you watch how often I put these out for you, you know I'm disciplined. Sideways action. I'm hearing so many people saying, oh, Bitcoin's so good. I don't know what's so good about it. If the stock market keeps coming down, what makes you think Bitcoin can hold up? I saw Jamie Dimon again saying this is a Ponzi scheme of the utmost part. He hates the cryptos, no question about it. The Brent versus WTI. You're back up to 768. Hearing what I heard out of Russia to OPEC Plus, I'm not looking for this to narrow. I think they're going to cut production. I think that's how it's going to be. All right? They're going to stabilize prices. I'm not saying Russia runs the game. I'm not saying it'll be 1 million barrels a day, but there's going to be a cut. I want to go on record. There's going to be a cut. When you look at what's happening here, you got to the Bollinger Bands, you're bouncing, you're oversold. Let somebody else that's bearish own that. It's not giving yet the reasons. Now, if you can embed, I get excited. But you can't count today's action. So you got to go to Tuesday. Both numbers were under 20. Both were under 20. All I need is one more day. You didn't get it there, but now today, Wednesday trade, you might get it. Well, that tells me what I'll be doing on rallies after that. So you lay your game plan out. I write about it in my twice daily writings for my traders. I point it out in the morning in the morning subscriber videos, both in the ETF and in the futures. And you get a game plan. That's what trading's about, a game plan. Not every trade can win. You can lose more. You can have more net losers than winners as long as you control the risk factor and you let the winners run for you. All right? If you don't hear that and you don't hear that from traders, there's something wrong. I always laugh when people say, well, how many winners versus losers do you have? That's not the game. Are you a net winner or a net loser? That's the game. Okay. Down here, you're hitting Bollinger Bands. What have I been telling you each day? I've been telling my traders, I don't want to be short against the Bollinger Band. I'll let somebody else want to own that. When you get to natural gas, how many times have I mentioned to you, I am looking for the 200-day average in the Bollinger Band to ideally present the bottom. I don't know if they will or won't. They have closed, I think, 14 rigs in the Gulf of Mexico due to Hurricane Ian. I believe 2 are natural gas and the rest were oil primarily. I'm giving you what I had read, and we'll see what happens. And it certainly is a bullish factor, not a bearish factor. You can take supply off the market. We'll see what happens. But this is a bear market. It has an embedded reading. Until that's out of the way, I don't do anything. Now, a logical question. Ira, it's embedded. Should you be looking to sell the rally? As a pure chartist, yes. But I have a major report in front of me. And how many times do you hear me say that? You don't go through the CPI. That's now the data factor the Fed wants to look at on meetings. And I'm not going into the Fed meeting because it could be 75, 100 points. I don't even know what the press conference is going to say. So you back away. Well, why would I go into a hurricane? What if the damage is so severe? Infrastructure, different things happen. No, you do it. I won't do it, all right? So I won't tell my clients to do that. That's basically how I approach the markets. There's an element of logic where you're a chartist and the chart is not everything. You walk away because while the chart is saying this, that God-given storm that we're getting can do anything. And that's the same as not going through a major report. You see what the damage is, then you assess it, and then you can make your moves. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I'm sorry, that makes sense to me. So again, if you're interested in my report on the stock indices, it'll go off the board tomorrow, so you have one day to look at it. And all you need to do is go to iraepstein.com. Go there. If you're interested in learning about the Bollinger Bands, step right over there to the education. And if you haven't gotten my updates, you hear me talk about them all the time, well, free offers, you can sign up for them there. If you've signed up before, don't bother. Okay, we have a very good database, and I don't mind giving a free offer, but I do mind being taken advantage of. So 2 weeks free, away you go. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. Sorry this is so late, but there's so much to talk about. Take care.